Bande Matram, good morning. This morning we are going to discuss on beautiful topic that is on attitude of the path part 1. Here we are taking today quiet aspiration and peace. Almost we are discussing everything from the writings of the mother. Very interesting topic we have chosen today that is very much helpful in the path while proceeding in the path of sadhana. Exclusively, this is designed, explained almost for the integral yogic path and those people who are seeking the integral yoga. So, this morning we are of course going to discuss the attitudes. We know many times we have kept discussing on the different types of attitudes. Here, this exclusively it will come. We'll discuss on three main major things, that is quiet, aspiration, and peace. Everything we are going to discuss from mother. Mother quotes beautifully, to live within, that is what the requirement. Till now we keep discussing the same thing again and again, to live within. But what is the process, how we are going to perform in our practical life, in day to day life? To live within is a constant aspiration for the divine, enables us to look at life with a smile and to remain peaceful whatever the outer circumstance may be. So we are living on the surface almost, because very few people have crossed and living the rust inside and living the inner life. Of course, almost people they keep living in the surface and of course leading the ordinary life. Mother beautiful quotes again in another point of time. Mother has quoted, if you will smile at life, life will smile at you. That is the criteria. And if this process is ceaseless, if continuously you smile at life and life will continuously smile at you, then you will get the ever youth. So this, for that, that immortality, it is the first step towards immortality. You can die. So here also, to live within is a constant aspiration for the divine. To live within, that is initially the constant aspiration for the divine, that enables us to look at life with a smile, and remain peaceful whatever the outer circumstance may be. It will never disturb you initially, and we are mostly disturbed by the outer circumstances. But if you live within, we aspire for the divine, then and everything is going with a smile, nothing, no agony, no tears, nothing, no tension, then you will remain peaceful. That is what. Always seek to progress in quietude, happiness, and confidence. That progress, we are progressing. Thing is the charaibati, we have to move forward. That is the condition. But problem is that we have to we have to progress, but how? Not under the compulsion, not over somebody's pulling, but it is in quietude, happiness, and confidence. That is the most needful attitude. Don't listen the contrary suggestions from outside. If it is there already every time to disturb you, where there is divinity, there is stupidity. As much as the more you progress in the divine method or divinity's way, the stupidity will be on the same pace, equivalent pace it will be moving. So don't listen anything contrary suggestions from outside. This is the inner thing. You have to go inside. Quietude, happiness, confidence must be there. A simple, straight, and sincere call and aspiration from the heart. Very interesting. A call from a call from below with a will to recognize and not deny the light, and there is sanction from the supreme. Here, mother quotes a simple, straight, and sincere call. How it is? Simple, straight, and sincere call. Then aspiration from the heart is the important thing and more essential and effective than capacities. Naturally, these are most needful, most helpful than our efficiency or capacity. Also, to get the consciousness to turn inwards, that was the requirement. That is the inward, living within, go deep within. These are the terms used so far this integral yogic process is concerned. Not remain outward going of the great importance. What is the importance? Then not to remain outward going. Normally in ordinary life, ordinary consciousness, we are outward, but actually thinks that to get the consciousness turn inwards, that is the secret. And that is the need to arrive at the inner call again, to arrive at the inner call, inner experience and inner presence. That is what the need of the yogic sadhana. We have to what we have to do. Number one important, that sincere call, step state sincere, simple state and sincere call, aspiration from the heart, these are essential. Then consciousness must be turned inwards, nothing with remain outward going. Then to arrive at the number one inner call, number two inner experience, number three inner presence. That is the most prerequisite for this yoga. Then that is of course both the things have been quoted by Sri Aurobindo. Here we are going to quote once more. We are going to quote Sri Aurobindo again, very beautiful in Sri Aurobindo. The sattvic nature has always been held to be the most apt and ready for the spiritual life. Sattvic, we have got three qualities: satya, dharma, and rajas. Sattvic, tamasic, and rajasic. But sattvic nature, that is the most apt and ready for the spiritual life. It is held like this. While the Rajasic nature encumbered by the desires and passions, that is the criteria. Rajasic, there is desire and passion. Sattvic nature ready for, apt and ready for the spiritual life. At the same time, spirituality is something above the dualities. Nothing remains contrary to duality. It never comes, never counts. We know, we open ourselves to one side to on the truth, then on another side we are open to the falsehood. It never works. Don't imagine the truth and falsehood, light and darkness, surrender and selfishness, two contrarity duality can be allowed to dwell together in the house consecrated to the divine. It is there, it is staying, but problem is that the heart that is consecrated to the divine, here the duality, this contrary to the opposite things can never be accommodated. The many who come to the Rajasic man as well as the Sattvic, if it does, he can raise it above his feelings and desires and passions, just as the other can rise beyond the virtues to the divine purity and light and love. Very interesting observation. I will quote again. So this may come to the Rajasic man as also the Sattvic man. Sometimes we can find the dualities, the most needed for the true upward aspiration. Here, Mother Sri Aurobindo quotes, if it does, he can, the sadhaka, rise by it above his feelings and desires and passions. Above the feelings and desires and passions he can go, just as the other can rise beyond his virtues, spiritual man, as virtues to the divine purity and love and light. So sattvic attachment, that is the most needful attitude. Again, we'll find Sri Aurobindo is quoting, aspiration should not be a form of desire. As we know, aspiration we are calling from the freedom, God, light and immortality. These are for the aspiration. Excluding those four, whatever we seek for, we yearn for, that is desire. Mother Sri Aurobindo differentiates here. Aspiration should not be a form of desire, but the feeling of inner soul's need and the quiet settled will to turn towards the divine and seek the divine. So here aspiration only corners around things about only the divine, turn towards the divine and seek the divine only. It is certainly not easy to get rid of the mixture of the desire entirely. Initially, it was the helper, further, and later it becomes the bar. So, here in the course, it is not easy to get rid of this mixture. Mixture means aspiration and, of course, this desire. Not easy for anyone, but one, if when he has the will to do it, confidence, he has the determination, then can be effected by the help of the sustaining forces, because the greater forces will come. If that aspiration to be changed, it is there, then naturally there will be change, no doubt of it. Desire often leads either to the excess of effort, meaning upon much labor and the limited fruit with strain and exertion, and in the case of difficulty or failure despondence, disbelief, or revolt. These are the criteria. If it is not fulfilled, then naturally these are the things, like despondence, disbelief, revolt, failure, difficulty. These are the things, or else leads to the pulling down the forces. So, what exactly something Haman has to do? The sadhaka's power is very much limited, and experience, of course, it is limited, or his mental and vital circumstances for the free gift and the true leading to the divine. So, what he has to do? Only aspiration, and aspiration for the divine, and the aspiration for, to seek the divine's grace. That is what the important thing. There can be intense but quiet aspiration which does not disturb the harmony of the inner being. So there is inner harmony is there. We don't feel that outer harmony. It is a requirement. Thing is that first of all we have to get the inner harmony. This must not be disturbed, because from within outward is the rule. So still in the course here, there can be the intense but quiet aspiration. Intense. Another line we have no. Aspire intensely but without impatience. So there can be an intense but quiet aspiration which does not disturb the harmony of the inner being. The impatience and the restless disquietude. Impatience and restless disquietude come from the vital which brings even into brings that even into the aspiration. That is also that of affects also in aspiration. Impatience and the restless disquietude. These are not at all needful. It are not at all helpful in the yogic attitude. The aspiration must be intense, calm, and strong. That is what the requirement. The aspiration, how it must be. It must be intense, but without restlessness, impatience, calm and strong. There is the nature of the true vital also. True vital, its nature of course, calm, intense, and strong. And no restless or impatience alone can be stable. That is what the requirement. That was we have to do. Again, calm, discrimination, detachment, not indifference, are the very important three things. Calm, discrimination, and detachment, not indifference. That is important. For the opposite impaired the more very much on transforming action. Then again, in course, intensity of aspiration should be there. Not only simply we are sometimes no intensity of aspiration should be there, but it must go along with this in the what has been quoted here, like calm, in discrimination, and detachment. They are actually with these also, it must be accompanied with intensity of aspiration. Very important. No hurry, no inertia, neither rajasic over eagerness or tamasic discouragement. It must not be there. Categorically here in the course here, no hurry, no inertia, neither rajasic over eagerness or tamasic discouragement. A steady and persistent but quiet call and working. These are the requirement of the time, of the yogic requirement. Then, of course, Sri Aurobindo quotes beautifully, to remain quiet within, firm in the will to go through, refusing to be disturbed or discouraged by the difficulties or fluctuations. That is one of the first things it must be learned in the path. Very important, it must be known. To do otherwise is to engage the instability of the consciousness. Spiritual atmosphere is more important than outer conditions. So we have to create the spiritual air to breathe in and to live in. That is the true condition. That is what Sri Aurobindo has quoted and tried to explain. Again, you should realize, while quiet surroundings are desirable, the true quiet within and no other will be given conditions. So we have to be deep within, peaceful within. If you get peace, then to clean the vital becomes easy. So this peace, it cleanses. So if you simply clean and do nothing else, you go slowly. So vital gets dirty again. So you have to be very fast in that. The peace, something that is clean in yourself, and it is positive way for securing the object. To look for dirty only and to clean negative way. So that's what we must be conscious. Thank you.